It's the faith that will get you over the doubt or the unexpected loss. Just because you have an unexpected expense does not mean that your abundance is not on its way to you just as requested. So because you assign meaning to that event is why you're creating this friction and this disconnect in your mind, and you're continually stuck. Hey there, it's Agnes. Thanks for being here. Before I dive into today's topic, I do want to share with you a project that I've been working on for the last several months that I've completed. It's launched and ready to go. It's called the Fearless Flyer Masterclass. It's for those of you that struggle with flight anxiety, and if you get really nervous when you need to travel and you feel like that holds you back from living your best life, this is definitely something you want to check out. I packed in there everything that has helped me, all the little things and the bigger things. I've got meditations in there, affirmations, scientific prayer, EFT, tapping routines, book recommendations. We go through statistics of the airplane to help ease your mind around the actual safety numbers and how safe air travel truly is. It's an all-in-one everything package, and I'm really happy with it. I know for sure that anyone that goes through it, that struggles with flying like I did, will 100% be transformed after completing it. There's no doubt in my mind. So if you want to check that out, I'm going to link it below. And without further ado, let's get into our topic. So today, I do want to talk about manifesting, but specifically on the topic of the faith that is required to manifest. So when you research the topic of manifesting, and if you read any books on the topic, whether it be something that's been, something that was written very recently, or any of the ancient texts, any of the the original text, they all say the same thing. Maybe in a little bit of a different way, but they all narrow in on this one thing. And it's so simple, and yet it's not easy, right? How many times have you wanted something? Have you put something out there, and then only for it to never actually come? And it makes you second guess your ability. It makes you second guess the whole process. It's never a fun thing to experience a strong desire for something and then have that thing not come to you. And a lot of times what we tend to do is just to say, well, let me just not desire things anymore. And this is what happens in adulthood. You just say, I might as well just be fine with the way things are and not dream so big, because some of the big dreams that I've had never happened. I never want you to feel like you should give up on your dreams or that you should start dreaming smaller, because desire is where all growth happens. All of creation begins from a feeling of desire, from a thought, from an idea that something could be different in a way. And when that seed is planted in your mind, and if you don't do something about it, it chips away at you. It's not fun to go through life feeling like you need to settle, feeling like you shouldn't want anything more, because our natural state is to grow and expand. The entire universe just wants to grow and expand. Everything. Think about children. Anything that you can envision in nature is constantly changing, growing, and expanding. And so those ideas of wanting to expand is God itself working through you. And it doesn't matter what the thing is. Like maybe you want a house with a bigger backyard, or maybe you want 17 villas. Creating anything in your life requires a couple of things, and it's a very specific formula that if you follow it to a T, you will manifest quickly. But it's our emotions and our underlying programming and the doubts and all of the things that get in the way. But the formula is, you have to have a thought, you have to have an idea, a vision, a desire of what it is that you want. You hold that vision in your imagination and you see yourself having that thing, experiencing that experience. Once you have envisioned it, all you have to do is basically set it aside and give thanks, send gratitude for already having it. So in the moment that you envision it and think of it and desire it, it's done. In that moment, creation is beginning. And that thing is on its way to you. But now you must believe that, and you must have faith, and it must be an unwavering faith. Meaning, if I desire, and I'll use money because this is probably the easiest one, but if I desire more income, and I ask for it, and I thank God for it, and I'm grateful for it, and I feel it coming, and so it is on the way. But then the very next day, I experience a loss. I experience an unexpected bill. I experience a speeding ticket, whatever the case may be. And in that moment that I experience that, if I allow my mind to shift from the gratitude that it is on its way to me to doubt or to completely giving up on the idea altogether, then what's happening is the manifestation, the creation process is slowed down. So it's like I'm pulling at it from two sides. On the one side, so it's like, I think Abraham Hicks talks about this, it's like a train car. On the one side, the train is going this way because this is where your beliefs are, and you're envisioning it, and you're creating it in your mind's eye, and you can see it and you can feel it, and you're getting to work on it. And so the train is essentially slowly, right? A train, it takes a good little while for the train to get into any type of speed, right? It's heavy, but that train is going in that direction slowly. But now you're over here because you experienced the ticket, the loss, the unexpected negative thing. And your mind goes over here. And now you're pulling at this train from both ends. And what happens when you pull from both ends? It's stopped, right? And depending which mindset is stronger, you're either going to pull it this way or you're going to pull it this way. But if you have this conflicting thought and emotion going on all the time, you're essentially going to stop it altogether. And this is where we find ourselves stuck in life. On the one hand, we really, really want something, and we believe that there are these techniques to get things that we want. And you know in your life that you've had things in the past that you've really, really wanted, and you actually are living that life now. You could probably name, at least 10 to 20 things right now that you've once wanted that you have. But at the very same time, you're also noticing all of these things that never do come. that you've been wanting for a long time that just aren't coming, that you seem to be stuck. So in order for us to stop pulling the train on this end and just stay here where we know we can get some momentum and we can get some motion and we can get some movement towards a direction that we want to grow, it is important to cultivate our faith, because it's the faith that will get you over the doubt or the unexpected loss. Just because you have an unexpected expense does not mean that your abundance is not on its way to you just as requested. So because you assign meaning to that event is why you're creating this friction and this disconnect in your mind, and you're continually stuck. So in order for us to rise above this doubt and all of these things that come up, you make sure that your headspace stays where it needs to stay, meaning we're still keeping faith, we're still envisioning, we're not allowing our emotions to get the best of us, we're not stopping any of the activities that need to be done in order to receive the thing. So a lot of times when we get discouraged, we get into motion, we start doing all of these things that we know we need to be doing or we want to be doing to get the manifestation to come to us. But all of a sudden, when we're discouraged, we stop doing all of those things. So you want to continue doing everything that you know to be doing, and don't let that loss discourage you. Now, on the topic of faith, which is where I really want to take this conversation, is we have to get really, really good at increasing our own faith in God and in the universe, that it will yield to us every single thing that we are asking for. So how do you do that? How do you build this unshakable faith that you know without a shadow of a doubt that as soon as you ask for something, that it is instantly set in motion to come to you? There is a law of oneness. You can look into this. This has been studied. This has actually been studied even by scientists. There is a law of oneness that states that the all is in everything and the everything is in the all. We are all one. We are all fragments of one whole. So the universe and all that exists within it, myself, am a fractal of that universe. Therefore, pieces of me that exist within you and exist within everyone else and exist within every cell of everything else, including the entirety of the whole of the all that is. So if we say that the all that is God, and I am a fractal of God, therefore God exists within me, therefore I exist within God. Therefore, in order for me to have faith in God, I must have faith in myself. In order for us to fully trust that the universe, that the all that is, will provide for us everything that we request, we must, within ourselves, provide for ourselves everything that we say we will do. And every time that you say, either to yourself or to someone, something that you wish to do and then you don't do it, you are sending a silent message to yourself that you cannot be trusted. And if you cannot be trusted to follow through on the things that you say you're going to do, then how can you trust in a God, in a universe, to provide for you everything that you're asking for? So the solution is actually really, really simple, and it's that it all lies within. And this again goes back to every teaching that stems from this idea of as above, so below, as within, so without. Whatever is on the outside is everything that is on the inside. One thing that I find fascinating is that when you expand into the universe, like for example, when you look through a telescope and you look up into space, it just keeps expanding and expanding and expanding, right? There's like no end. And after a while, there's patterns and things that form. But when you take a microscope and you go into, let's say, a human body or an animal or a plant or something, and you take a molecule and you zoom in and you zoom in and in and in and in, it's almost the exact same thing. Patterns start to create, but there is no end. So no matter how far you zoom in and no matter how far you zoom out, you find yourself in the same place. So anything that you are looking out for, that you want to get, that you want to feel, that you want to receive, that you want to experience, anything that you're looking out there for, you have to look in. And all the answers are within. Always, every time, 100% of the time. We're always looking to the exterior for all of the things that we need to make us feel whole, right? I want a partner so that I don't feel lonely. I want to have lots of friends so that I feel validated. I want to go on lots of travels so that I can feel adventure. I want to experience all of these different things so that I can feel all of these different wonderful ways. And when I don't experience these things, I feel empty. I feel like something's missing. And so I go out again into the world seeking, but it's never enough. It is never enough. When you're out there looking for whatever it is that you need to fulfill you, you'll find it temporarily, but it will never be enough, and you'll always be seeking. So this is why we go within. We have to find within ourselves everything that we are looking for in order to feel fulfilled. And the irony is, the paradox is, that when you find it within you, you'll find it everywhere outside of you. And then you'll be so blessed by all of the things that you've always wanted, but you won't really need them because you're already whole and complete within. But going back to this faith. So if you really want to cultivate your faith and you want to start seeing your creations that you're thinking of in your head manifest into reality quicker, start practicing unwavering commitment to your word. So if you say you're gonna go for a 1 mile walk tomorrow, do the walk. If you say you're gonna clean the garage this weekend, clean the garage this weekend. Whatever you say that you're going to do those things. This is where you will start to cultivate the proof that you need, that whatever you say goes. And it won't be long before you can start doing this on a much larger scale, where you can just say, I claim that thing. I wish to experience that thing. That thing, that experience is mine in God's divine timing. And then you won't have to obsess over it after that. You'll just point at it, look at it, think of it, and you'll say, yeah, I accept that. I wish to experience that. I will experience that. All in God's divine timing. And then you can just step aside and move along your life. And 6 months later, it's going to show up and you're going to be like, oh yeah, that's the thing I wanted. There it is. And it literally can just be that simple. But you have to start keeping the promises that you make to yourself. If you say that you're going to not lose your temper on your kids, but then the minute they act out, you lose your temper, that's the thing that actually makes you feel so bad. You ever notice that when you actually act a certain way or react a certain way that you said you wouldn't react, it feels awful after. And most people won't really put this together, so they'll just say, oh, it just feels awful because of this situation and of the way this person is acting and of the way that they made me be like this. They make me be crazy. But if you truly stop to think about it, you don't feel awful because of the thing that they did or the thing that they said. You feel awful because of the way that you reacted to that thing. And your higher self, your highest self, knows that you could have reacted in a different way, or that you wish to have reacted in a different way, or that you've promised yourself that you would stay calm, that you would act with love, that you wouldn't just be explosive in that way. And then you didn't. You just, in that moment, it was just a quick reaction. And we all do this. In that moment, when somebody cuts you off in traffic, it's just a quick reaction. It's like, ah! Notice these aspects of your life where you're knocked from your power. Because anytime that you don't do what you said you were going to do, anytime that you react with an anger or a negative emotion, you're knocked off your power. You have no power from there. The only place where we hold our power, our fullest power, is from a place of confidence, love, understanding. It's this elated feeling. It's this you're flying, you're untouchable, you're on cloud 9. That's where you hold all your power. But we allow these circumstances to chip away, to bring us down. And each time a circumstance chips away and brings us down, it knocks out your faith on the bigger things. It's the little things that do that to us. But in the end, we pay for it with the bigger things. Because then we don't have the faith. And then we start pulling the train in the other direction. And we start to doubt. And so the things that we want, the life experiences that we want, are desperately trying to get to us. But we're literally blocking it. With our thoughts, with our emotions, with our reactions, by not being honest with ourselves, by not following through on everything that we say we're going to do, big or small. And this is why you struggle to manifest. And this is why you say, none of my things are coming true. This manifestation stuff doesn't work. I know it works, but you have to follow the laws, because these are laws. They're universal laws. If you lean over a ledge, you're going to fall, because that's the law of gravity. And there are universal laws that work every single time in every single circumstance. And it doesn't matter if you're a nice person, doesn't matter if you're a good person, doesn't matter if you're good looking, it doesn't matter any of that stuff. All that matters is that your thoughts are in alignment with the laws so that you can get every single thing that you want. And they are simple, but they are not easy, because this is many, many, many years of programming, of maybe people in our lives that have told us different. And we have to wake up. We have to wake up to our power, to the knowledge. But once you have the knowledge, now it's up to you. Now it's up to you to implement the teachings and to keep at it until you get it right. Sometimes I feel like, the movie Groundhog's Day is like the greatest spiritual movie ever made. And I love that movie because in that movie, he basically wakes up every single morning and it's the exact same day, right? And it's the exact same day. And he keeps getting it wrong. And he wakes up again and it's the exact same day. So he goes out there and he's trying to figure out what he needs to do. And he keeps getting it wrong, and he wakes up and it's the exact same day. And I really do feel like life is like that sometimes. Like you already know the laws. You already know what you need to do. You already said you would do what you need to do. And then you didn't do it. And then you reacted to reality. You didn't stay in your imaginative state. You didn't stay in your creation. You didn't stay in the feeling. You just reacted. And you messed it up. And then you wake up and it's the same day again. And it's the same day again. And it's the same day again. But you have time to figure this out, right? God is a very forgiving God. But it doesn't have to be like that. You don't have to mess up 1,000 times. You can just start implementing these principles right now so that life can just be one of ease and grace and love and abundance. So you emit all of those things. Emit love and ease and grace and forgiveness and abundance. Give abundantly with your words, with your thoughts. And that's what you will be given right back. Because that's just the way that it works. It's you that keeps getting in your own way. There's nobody else. There is nobody else that you need to change, that you need to control, that you need to make sure they talk to you a certain way, that they look at you a certain way, that they treat you a certain way, that they take you to certain places, that they entertain you and love you and listen to you and understand you. There is nobody that needs to do that, any of that. It's all within you. When you emanate all of those things that you wish to have, you will receive them, but you won't need them because you'll already be whole and complete, just as everything is. It's like acceptance to the 100th degree. It's full acceptance of everything that is, and not trying to fix those little spots in you that are broken, that are empty, with all of these external things, with all of these distractions. It's just in you. It's always been in you. And the minute that you can stay true to yourself, that you can make a promise and keep the promise, even if it's just a reaction that you won't have next time. The moment that you start doing that fully and completely all the time, where it just is who you are, it'll be just like in that movie Groundhog's Day, and you're going to wake up and it's going to be the next day, meaning you're going to shift onto a new timeline, onto the desired timeline, with everything that you've always wanted. Just easy, just like that. It's quick. It's easy. You can do it. Part of the reason why you're not doing it is because you keep saying that you can't do it. Or you keep saying that it's hard, or you keep saying that it's complicated, or you keep saying that you don't know how. Stop saying that. Stop thinking that. Yes, you can. Yes, you do know how. Higher intelligence is speaking through you every minute of every day. Higher intelligence is within you, and you are it. You just need to believe. Get quiet enough to hear. Follow those intuitive hits when you do get them. And most importantly, do the things that you say you will do so you can build faith. So you can create the life of your dreams. Thanks for being here, my love. We'll see you next time.